So today we'll be studying about Gauss divergence theorem. Now we already studied about Green's theorem, right? That theorem converts the line integral into the corresponding surface integral. This theorem, Gauss divergence theorem, this converts the surface integral to the corresponding volume integral. So let's see how does it do that. So suppose V is the volume which is bounded by the closed surface S. So suppose you have this surface S. So the volume which is bounded by this surface S would be of this kind, right? So this would be a volume, and we say if f vector, this denote the vector point function having continuous derivatives in V. In that case, the double derivative of this vector function f dot with n cap, where what is n cap, and this n cap, this is the outward drawn unit normal to the vector surface S. So this n cap would be, if we are talking about this surface, then it would be perpendicular vector pointing outwards in the direction for this surface. And if we are talking about this particular surface, so that means our vector n would be outwards normal to this particular surface. So this would be our vector n. And similarly for this surface, so it would be this vector n cap. For the surface which is below this, so it would be like this, right? So this is our n cap vector, and here we say the surface integral of the vector f dot with n cap vector, this is equal to the volume integral of the divergence of the vector f. So that is why its name is divergence theorem here, right? Okay, so let's see question, how can we use this theorem in order to solve various questions. And so our first question here is, suppose S is a closed surface enclosing volume V, then we are to show that first part, curl of f dot n cap, the vector n cap ds, this is equal to 0. So let's get going. For the first part, we can use Gauss divergence theorem as we have just seen. So this vector here, curl of f vector dot n vector ds. So if you see your theorem here, so vector f here would be, in this particular case, it would be curl of vector f. So according to the Gauss divergence theorem, so we will have the divergence of this vector f. So that means in this case it would be the triple integral over V of the divergence of this quantity, curl of f dv. And we know a property that as divergence of curl of a vector point function, this quantity is always equal to 0. Therefore, this volume integral would be calculated for the 0 vector, for 0 dv. So this would obviously be 0. So this is our first part. Moving on to the second part, they are asking calculate the triple integral of the divergence of n cap dv, and they are asking show that this quantity is equal to S itself. So here also we can apply this theorem. So we wanted to show this triple integral of divergence of n cap dv, this is equal to S. This is to prove. So if we apply the Gauss divergence theorem onto this part, divergence of n cap dv, what would be this? According to Gauss divergence theorem, this would be divergence of n dv, this would be equal to n dv dot n ds, right? So it would be the double integral over S of the quantity n cap, because vector f here plays this role, into n cap ds as such. So you know the dot product of n vector dot n vector, that would simply be equal to 1. So it would be double integral over S of ds. And if you take the integral, this surface integral over whole of the surface, so it would be equal to the complete surface itself. So this is what we wanted to prove here. And for the third part, they are asking calculate this double integral and show that this thing is equal to 3v here. So let's proceed with the left hand side using this Gauss divergence theorem. So our left hand side here is equal to the double integral over S of vector r dot n cap ds. So according to Gauss divergence theorem, this quantity is equivalent to triple integral over the volume V of, now here vector f is this vector r. So we have the divergence of vector r into dv according to Gauss divergence theorem. Now what is this quantity? So let's calculate it here. Del dot r vector. So what is del? Del by del x I cap plus del by del y j cap plus del by del z k cap dot with r vector. What is r vector? It is x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. So when you take this dot product, it would be del by del x of x plus del by del y of y del by del z of z. So this would be 1 plus 1 plus 1. So this would be equal to 3. So we will have integration of 3 dv over v. So this would be equal to 3v. So this is what we wanted to prove in the third part, right? Okay, so now next let us discuss one more question. It says that you are to verify the divergence theorem for this vector. Now this vector is given to us, and what is the region? The region is rectangular parallelepiped having limits 0 to of x from 0 to a, of y from 0 to b, and of z from 0 to c. So these are the limits. So that means we have a cuboid like structure, right, which is the rectangular parallelepiped. So it would be something like this, having, if this is my x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. So this distance is b, this distance is a, and this distance is c, right, and this point is 0. So according to that we have this region. So here we will apply the Gauss divergence theorem, which says that the double integral of vector f dot with n cap vector ds, this is equal to the volume integral of del dot f vector, right? So here for equation, in order to prove that this is true for this particular vector, let's proceed by first calculating the right hand side. Now here also you see the computation of right hand side is much more easier than that for left hand sides, and in many problems where we wanted to calculate the surface integral directly, instead of calculating the surface integral, which provide you with a much longer calculation, you can directly calculate the volume integral. But in this case what we are required to do, we are required to verify this divergence theorem. That means we are to calculate both parts and we are to check whether they are equal or not. So let's get started by first calculating the right hand side. For the right hand side we have this quantity. So we are given what is vector f. So this is our vector f. We are given what is this del vector. We already know this. Then we can perform the dot product of these two. So dot product is multiplication of this I cap components, j cap components, and k cap components. So this is what you have, and the addition of all these, and then you will perform these partial differentiations of individual functions with respect to x, with respect to y, and with respect to z. So this is what you obtain. Now the next step is to solve this triple integral. So we require the limits for this volume V. Now if you look at your given region, it is given to be x lying between 0 to a, y lying between 0 to b, and z lying between 0 to c. So here obviously the limits are of x, they are given to be 0 to a, y 0 to b, and z from 0 to c. So we have all constant limits here. So this is what you get. Now you solve this much portion first. So performing the integration with respect to x, so it would be x square by 2. Y and z with respect to x, they are constant, so it would be y plus z as such multiplied by x, and the limits of x, they vary from 0 to a. So once you substitute the limits, you have this quantity. So now we will solve this integral for y. So we'll calculate this much portion. So here, because there is no term y, we have a square by 2y plus here a square ay would be ay square by 2, and az would be AZY, right? And the limits of y, they vary from 0 to b. So once you substitute the limits, you have this quantity, and now you have to perform the integration with respect to z. Now what is that integration? That is simply this one, and then you substitute the limits for z, that becomes equal to ABC, a plus b plus c. So this is your right hand side. So mark this as your equation number, right hand side for your equation number 1, right? So we have just calculated this much portion. Now let's move on to this left hand side, and let's see how can we calculate this left hand side over here. For the left hand side, we are required to calculate this surface integral, where n cap is the normal drawn to the surface outward to the given surface. So our region here is defined by within these limits. So within these limits, this is the region. So we are to calculate the surface integral. Now in this figure, how many faces can you see? There are 6 faces in total. So that means we'll perform this integration, surface integration, corresponding to each of these 6 faces. So DEFG is this one. Then you have ABCO. So ABCO is this one, right? And then you have ABEF. So ABEF. ABEF is this portion. Then you have OGDC is this portion, and then you have BCDE. BCDE is this one, upper portion, and then you have AFGO, this is this portion, right? So you cover all the 6 faces of this cube. So let's get going. So let's solve all these components one by one. So let's first look at this particular component. Over the face DEFG. So over DEFG. So that means we are now talking about this black portion, black face, right? Black shaded portion. So here, this black shaded portion is for this black shaded portion. Now let's see what do we have for this one, for this particular shaded portion. So here this face is is a distance away from the origin, right? And moreover, what is the normal drawn from this? It would be a unit vector which is drawn outside the surface and parallel to this face. So it would be the vector, unit vector in the direction of x cap. What would be that? That would be I cap. So for this particular face DEFG, our unit vector is simply I cap, because the unit vector is drawn in the direction of x cap, and moreover the length x is now defined by a, because for this face, at every point of this face the value of x is the same, and that is equal to a here. And here the y and z parameter for this particular face, they are varying. So for this face we have n cap is equal to I cap and x is equal to a. So your this integration becomes equal to, we have substituted the value for vector f, and we have substituted the value for vector n, that is I cap, and we have substituted the variable limits for z and y, because z and y are varying in this particular case. So when you take the dot product of this whole vector f with vector I cap, so it would just be the component this one, because I cap into I cap is 1, j cap into I cap is 0, k cap into I cap is also 0. So we have this quantity. So next we will perform its integration, firstly with respect to y and then with respect to z. So its integration with respect to y is this. So you could substitute the limits for y from 0 to b, and then you will perform the integration with respect to z. So it would be this quantity, and you will substitute the limits for z varying from 0 to c. So this is your final result when you have calculated this surface integral over the first face. So I am calling this first face to be I cap. So mark this, we will require this thing later on, right? Next, let us discuss it for another face ABCO. Now what is your face ABCO? Your ABCO is the face which is, let me redraw this quickly. So our figure is so according to this, your face ABCO is this one, right? For this face, the value of x is 0. The value of x is 0 here, and because this is the unit vector which is drawn perpendicular to this would be outside to this, that means into the screen and perpendicular to this surface, so it would be something like this. So it would be in the direction of x cap, but in the negative x direction. So this unit vector would be minus I cap here. So accordingly, your surface integral in this case becomes, this is your f vector where you have substituted in place of x the value 0, and the n cap vector that is equal to minus I cap vector, and here also we have variable limits for z and y. So that is why we are performing integration with respect to y and z. So when you take the dot product of these two vectors, so it would be j into I would be 0, k into I would be 0, I into I would be 1. In fact, we have minus, so it would be minus and minus, they will become plus. So we have yz dy dz. So when you perform the integration with respect to y, so you have this quantity, and then you can substitute the limits. So then you can also perform the integration with respect to z, so it would be this. So this is your second value which is required for the calculation of surface integral. So mark this as some quantity. Okay, next for the face ABEF. Now let me draw the figure once more. So this is x, this is y, this is z. So this is our cube or parallelepiped, right? So here the face ABEF, where n is equal to j cap. So we are talking about this face. For this particular face, this face is how much distance away from origin? It is b units away from the origin. So here at every point, this point is y is equal to b. So at every point the value of y is equal to b, and moreover the unit vector drawn perpendicular to this surface would be this one outside to this and parallel to this y axis. So that means it would be equal to j cap. So accordingly you obtain f vector dot n vector. So this is your f vector dot with j vector, and here what is variable? For this particular face, z is varying and z can vary and x can vary, right? So you have the variable limits for z and x. So that means the next step is to perform this dot product. So when you take the dot product of I with j, it would be 0, j with j would be 1. So we have this quantity over here, and k with j would be 0 again. So next step is to perform the integration over x. So it would be this quantity, and then you can substitute the limits for a. So you have this, and then you can perform the integration with respect to z. So this is what you have here. So your third quantity in this case is simply this quantity. So just mark this, we will require this. Next let us discuss is for the face OGDC. So let me draw it again once more. So this is our parallelepiped. So here we are talking about the face OGDC, right? So this is your face OGDC. Here this is z axis, we have x axis and y axis. Now this axis has the value of y equal to 0. Why? Because at all the points here y is equal to 0. The only thing that is varying is this x and this z here. And moreover the unit vector which is drawn perpendicular would be in the negative y direction, right? So we have n vector to be minus j cap, and y here is equal to 0. So we just write down the vector f, and in that vector f, wherever we find the value of y, we substitute that equal to 0, and moreover in place of n vector we write minus j vector. Then we took the dot product, then we solved the integral. Your value finally came out to be this quantity. And next for the face B, C, D, E. So what is this face? So this face now is, this is z, this is y, this is x. So the face B, C, D, E is this one. For this particular face, your unit vector is drawn like this in the direction of z, so it would be n cap is equal to k cap, and here the value of z, this distance from origin, that is equal to c, right? So the value of z is equal to c here. So this particular integral is equal to, we'll substitute the vector f, and in place of z we will write c. Wherever we see z, we will write c in its place. And moreover in place of n vector we will write k vector, and then take the dot product, solve the integration, and finally you obtain this value. And for the last final face, we are performing this surface integral over the face AFGO. So let's see what is this face AFGO. AFGO is this face. So the unit normal which is drawn parallel to this one is in this particular direction. Now this direction is negative of z direction, so the unit vector here would be minus k cap, and here the value of z is equal to 0 at every point, and the only thing that is varying is x as well as y here, not this one, x as well as this y, right? They are varying here. So that means we have the vector f and the direction n cap is k cap, so you take the dot product here, solve this integration, and finally you obtain the value, this one. So now we started with this quantity here. We wanted to calculate the surface integral, this one. For that we have divided it into the 6 portions, and we have individually calculated all these 6 portions. So let us substitute each of the value in this equation. So finally we have the value, this is for the first portion, this is for second, for third, for fourth, for fifth, and for sixth, right? So from here you can clearly see that this quantity and this quantity cancels, this and this cancels, and this cancels. So you are left with these 3 quantities, and when you take out the terms common, so this becomes your left hand side for the equation number 1. That means for the surface integral in this case becomes equal to this quantity. So this quantity is exactly equal to what you got for the when you calculated the volume integral. So in this way we have shown that the Gauss divergence theorem is valid for the given vector f whenever we were given the volume for the rectangular parallelepiped. So I hope this is clear to you.